Hey, have you ever got up one morning and you had plans that day? It was a typical day, like any other day. You had plans that day and you were going to take a drive somewhere and do something fun outside, and you planned on doing it for a while. Work's been a little stressful and you just really wanted to relax, and you got up that morning, after checking the weather the night before and everything looked fine. Get up that morning and you're like, hey, it's kind of dark out this morning. Let me see what's going on. And you look outside and there's a big ugly rain cloud coming. And nobody told you about this rain cloud. The weather didn't say anything about it. In fact, it never predicted that it was coming. And then the next thing you know, your plans are completely shot, and you didn't prepare and have a plan B for that day. Well, that's exactly what happened to my sister and I, in fact, my whole family, when my mother began repeating herself. We didn't notice it at first because she was living in North Carolina with her husband, who was still alive at that time. And she would come to family functions and different things, and we'd only see her every once in a while. And she would repeat the same stories quite a lot, which, many years ago, she fell down and hit her head, and took her a little while to recover from that, but she was perfectly fine for a long time. So, it was catching us off guard because my mother, as far as we knew, ate very healthy, and, we weren't aware that she was around anything poisonous or any kind of strange things. And because she would only come in town and visit for short times, we didn't notice how much it was progressing, and her husband wasn't really, maybe just trying to keep her dignity or something like that, but wasn't really conveying, everything that was going on. So it started to sneak up on us until her memory and repeating things and stuff started to get pretty bad. And it got to the point where now, she wasn't bathing regularly, which is totally not like her. And I'm sure some of you who are going through dementia issues or going through the stages of Alzheimer's can recognize all of these types of problems that start to go on, and they catch you off guard, just like a cloudy day and rain coming on your plans, and you don't have a plan B, and you find yourself then scrambling to try to figure out how to handle this situation, because one, it's a loved one, like it's your parent or your wife or husband, and you try to give them some dignity, because they can become quite aggressive about things. You say, you want to take a shower, you want to brush your teeth, and they're like, I just did, and you're like, you haven't brushed your teeth in 2 days. These things can become quite stressful. They forget things, they forget where their house is, they are fine for a little while and then not fine. They can have a conversation with a stranger and they know how to fake that conversation so that it seems normal, but to you, they're saying things that are inaccurate. They can begin to obsess about money, and then also things like my mother wanted to give it away. She thought that she was a billionaire basically, and could just give kids money in the store. She could give whatever. She just, we ended up having to give her fake money, monopoly money, after a while, just so she would count it and do strange things. This is quite typical as well. So we went through quite a lot of things that caught us off guard. In fact, even to the stages now are quite traumatizing, and it really has had, most people. You see all these news reports and stuff, and they talk about the families trying to convey how stressful it is. They're trying to convey the trauma or the difficulty, and especially the fact that there is no medical help. So this is a big thing I will tell you now too, is that you will go to the doctor, and unless you visit a functional medicine doctor, you basically, even neuroscientists, brain doctors, neurologists and things, you will get, or at least we got, zero help. Basically they might prescribe some antidepressants and maybe some other kind of meds, because our mother also developed sundowners, and sun would go down, she'd get very anxious and very nervous. But that's not healing anything, that's not helping with memory. Somewhere along in this system, it looks like the protocol has been handed down to just do nothing. And so you also will face financial problems with them, because now they may not be paying their bills, and you need to, somebody's got to pay their bills and get control of these things, the car insurance stuff. If you're a son or a daughter, your name is not on all of these things. So you run into quite a lot of problems. This angry rainstorm cloud coming without a plan B. And I feel very sympathetic for you. Our mother was, when she was in her best state, she was extremely good at accounting. She ran a tight ship. And when all of this started to happen to her, something went through her mind where she canceled her medical insurance. She canceled her life insurance policy. She canceled all of the important things that are must-haves, to keep from having a financial catastrophe, because unless you are a multimillionaire and your parent lives quite a while, the care can be between $7,000 and $12,000 a month to pay for caregivers, or to pay for someone to look after them or put them in a home, especially a memory unit. It is a huge. Now the caregivers, if they're staying in a home, they're absolute must. But the homes, I feel they're a ripoff. But they're. You got to work, and you have to do certain things, like I say, unless you're retired and you're very wealthy. And in our case, our mother canceled her insurance. She canceled. So there's a great deal of things we've learned over the past few years here, with her progression, and then also trying to take care of her, both her health, her care. And especially in the beginning, once they settle down into having Alzheimer's, they pretty much, they're like they can't do anything. You get them up, you put them somewhere, you change them, you feed them, but it's the early stages. It's this is why I'm making this, is for you in the early stages who are freaking out and wondering what to do, and there's not much information at all. That I couldn't find much helpful stuff on the internet, and not knowing, and this is from experience, not knowing what you're going to face, and the fact that you're in a mental trauma at the time, you're basically scrambling, trying to figure out, I've got this crazy person almost in a house who could harm themselves. They could turn the stove on, light the house on fire. They could, wander off down the street. It's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare at first. So what we decided to do to help raise awareness for this issue of Alzheimer's disease, and the fact that there's no true medical support, and there's no true program to say, hey, this is what I lived through. This is what you need to do to protect yourself. This is who you need to go see. These are all the things and the steps you need to do to protect your loved one, to get control of assets so that it doesn't cause your whole family to go broke. The mental things you will go through and how to get control of them quickly so it doesn't stress you out too much. What you're going to expect, and it's different because it's a human being, but they generally fall through or go through certain stages. And what medical things we've found, or these things to try to help them and help you, as far as dietary things to follow that can help them a great deal that no one will ever mention to you. I don't care how high a level you go to. If you don't go to a certain functional doctor or something like that, you're never going to hear anything. There's just, nothing you can do, basically, is what the medical system's going to tell you. So what we did to raise money for Alzheimer's awareness and start making these podcasts and stuff is we put together a program. It's a series of instructional videos and teachings that could help save your family enormous amounts of stress and depression and worry, and also to help with the health and longevity of your parent and giving them dignity as they go through this, and most especially to protect you and your family, your loved one, from people who would try to scam and steal their house, who would try to get, because there's even relatives who will show up out of nowhere and try to get on the will, try to get money, try to get their name on things. You have, the phone is the phone in the hand of someone who has dementia or Alzheimer's. It could be a bankruptcy event in itself. So we created this series of videos as instructional videos, like a course to go through in stages that will protect and help your family and also help your loved one. And so what we did is we're going to offer those. And what we want you to do is give a donation to help pay for the editing, the time, the production of all of these things. And we're going to be putting it out here in the next couple of weeks when they're done getting edited and put up on the website-y thing. And so we'll have if you want to pre-order these courses, which we'll try to cover everything, because we've went through the worst case scenarios of everything from having to sell off assets and all that kind of stuff. We're going to try to walk you through every step we can think of course, what we faced in the worst case scenario to help you out. So it's an invaluable course for you to protect your family, because I sure wish somebody had it. It would have saved us so much trauma. So I'll leave a link below, and if you'd like to pre-order this, it will be out in the next couple of weeks, maybe even sooner. So you can get a copy of that. Pre-order it by making a donation and entering your email, and then as soon as it comes out, it'll be sent to you. So my name is Dan Collier, and it's for Alzheimer's awareness. See a link below, and we're going to be making a lot of these videos to help you out and let you know that you're not the only one going through these stressful situations. So we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.